Welcome to Heart to Fat, a groundbreaking series dedicated to uncovering the hidden dangers of dietary fat. For years, the public has been told that certain fats are healthy, but emerging research paints a very different picture. This series challenges the widespread belief that fat is harmless, revealing how it can contribute to serious health problems like obesity, heart disease, fatty liver disease, diabetes, and so much more. Through real stories and scientific evidence, we will explore how high-fat foods impact our bodies in ways many never imagined. Our mission is to expose the truth behind the big fat lie and empower viewers to make informed choices about what they eat. Join us as we embark on a journey to reveal the reality of dietary fat and its consequences for millions around the world. My name is Saar Daor, and I come from Israel, a country that blends ancient traditions with a modern lifestyle. Here, the food culture is vibrant and diverse, much like what you might find in America. Fast food chains and convenience meals are everywhere, but we also have our own favorites. Shawarma, for example, is incredibly popular and can be found on nearly every street corner. It's a staple for many, just as burgers and fries are in the Western world, mainly the United States. Despite the differences in cuisine, the influence of high-fat foods is unmistakable in both places. This shared food environment shapes the way we eat and, ultimately, the state of our health. Across the globe, the rise of fatty foods has fueled an unprecedented obesity epidemic. In nearly every modernized country, processed and high-fat foods dominate the shelves, making it increasingly difficult for individuals to maintain a healthy diet. Studies show that the majority of diets fail, largely because excessive fat content is hidden in everyday meals and snacks. This pervasive presence of fat in our food supply undermines even the most determined efforts to lose weight. As a result, rates of obesity and related health conditions, such as heart disease and diabetes, continue to climb. The challenge is not just personal willpower, but a global food environment saturated with unhealthy options. Saar takes a moment to consider the overwhelming amount of misinformation surrounding dietary fat. He recalls how foods like fatty meats, cheese, snacks, French fries, hamburgers, hot dogs, and fried fish are often promoted as harmless or even beneficial. Oils such as coconut and canola are frequently marketed as healthy choices, despite their high fat content. Saar realizes that these messages have shaped public perception, making it difficult for people to recognize the risks associated with consuming these products. He acknowledges that he, too, was once convinced by these claims, only to discover later that the truth had been hidden behind clever advertising and popular myths. The widespread belief in the healthiness of certain fats, he now understands, is a carefully constructed illusion that has led many astray. Letting go of the comforting myths about fat is no easy task. For years, many of us have clung to the belief that a little indulgence here and there couldn't possibly do harm. But the truth is far more unsettling. The emotional battle begins when we realize that these so-called harmless habits are quietly undermining our health, leading to weight gain, high cholesterol, and increased risk of serious diseases. Rejecting these lies means confronting cravings and memories tied to favorite foods, and facing the discomfort of change. Yet, acknowledging the harsh reality is the first step toward healing. It's a journey filled with doubt and temptation, but also with hope for a healthier future. Saar opens up about his deep-seated addiction to hamburgers, admitting that he once cherished them more than anything else in his life. Each week, he consumed 3 burgers, each loaded with cheese and toppings, totaling an astonishing 210 grams of fat. He never realized just how much fat he was putting into his body, or the toll it was taking on his health. The pleasure of each bite masked the silent damage accumulating within. Saar's story is a stark reminder of how easy it is to underestimate the impact of our dietary choices, especially when unhealthy foods become a source of comfort and routine. Saar's daily routine once revolved around high-fat foods, with hamburgers topping his list of favorites. Each burger, loaded with cheese and toppings, contained around 70 grams of fat. Consuming 3 burgers a week meant Saar was taking in about 210 grams of fat just from this single indulgence. Over time, this excessive intake contributed to significant weight gain, pushing his body weight to 144 kilograms. The consequences soon became apparent in his blood tests, which revealed dangerously high levels of cholesterol, triglycerides, and glucose. These markers signaled a heightened risk for heart disease and other metabolic disorders. Saar's story illustrates how habitual consumption of fatty foods can quickly undermine physical health. Saar's journey with obesity was marked by years of unhealthy eating habits, eventually causing his weight to climb to 144 kilograms. Despite living in a modern country with abundant food choices, he found himself drawn to the many different types of fatty meals, unaware of the consequences. The turning point came after a routine blood test revealed alarming levels of cholesterol, triglycerides, and glucose. Confronted by his doctor, Saar learned that his health was at serious risk. Saar asked if it's from sugar, hoping that the doctor would answer that it's from sugar and sugar only. However, the doctor explained what he didn't want to hear. It's not from sugar, but from the high fat content in his diet. The warning was stark: if he didn't change his eating habits immediately, his body could begin to fail within months. This moment of truth forced Saar to reconsider everything he thought he knew about food and health, setting him on a new path toward recovery. Saar's blood test results were alarming. His cholesterol, triglycerides, and glucose levels were all dangerously high, signaling a serious threat to his health. The doctor explained that these numbers were not just a warning, they were a call to immediate action. High cholesterol and triglycerides can clog arteries, increasing the risk of heart attack and stroke, while elevated glucose, which is often generated in the liver by fat, it points to potential diabetes. Saar realized that his dietary habits had brought him to a critical crossroads. The urgency of the situation became clear. Without swift changes, his health could rapidly deteriorate. This moment marked a turning point, forcing Saar to confront the consequences of his choices. Saar believed that his health problems were mainly caused by consuming too much sugar. When his doctor reviewed the results of his blood test, Saar asked if cutting back on sweets would solve the issue. However, the doctor clarified that it was not sugar, but high fat intake that posed the greatest threat to Saar's health. Elevated cholesterol, triglycerides, and glucose levels were all linked to the excessive fat in his diet. The doctor warned Saar that his body could collapse within months if he didn't drastically reduce fatty foods. This revelation challenged Saar's assumptions and made him realize that fat, not sugar, was the true danger lurking in his daily meals. The doctor's message was clear and urgent: continuing to consume high amounts of fat would have dire consequences in a matter of months. He compared fat to a rat, an unwanted intruder that must be kept out of the body to prevent harm. This analogy underscored the seriousness of the situation, emphasizing that fat, when left unchecked, can wreak havoc on vital organs and overall health. The warning was not just about numbers on a blood test, but about the real risk of collapse and irreversible damage. Such a stark comparison made it impossible to ignore the dangers lurking in everyday foods, just like an unwanted rat. The doctor's advice was simple yet profound: treat fat as a threat, and take decisive action to protect your health. Faced with alarming health warnings, Saar turned to his doctor for answers, asking how he could avoid fats and still survive. The doctor's response was unwavering: treat fat as a dangerous substance, much like sugar is for someone with diabetes. He advised Saar to eliminate fatty foods entirely, emphasizing the importance of vigilance in every food choice. The doctor recommended a diet centered on honey, yogurt, protein-rich fish, lean chicken breast, fruits, and vegetables. He explained that not all foods are laden with fat, but the pervasive myth that some fats are harmless keeps people returning to unhealthy options. Saar was told to resist temptation in grocery stores and to see fatty foods as a threat to his well-being. The doctor's words were clear: avoiding fat was not just a simple rule or suggestion, but a necessity for survival. The doctor's advice was clear and unwavering: to reclaim health, Saar needed to shift his focus to foods that nourish rather than harm. Emphasizing honey, yogurt, lean proteins like fish and chicken breast, along with plenty of fruits and vegetables, the doctor outlined a path away from the dangers of fatty, ultra-processed foods. He warned that the so-called big fat lie, the marketing that convinces people high-fat foods are harmless, was a trap ensnaring millions. By resisting this pervasive messaging and making conscious choices, Saar could protect his body from the silent threats of high cholesterol, triglycerides, and glucose, all generated by high fat amounts. The doctor's words served as a wake-up call, urging Saar to treat fatty foods with the same caution as sugar for a diabetic. This new approach was not just about avoiding illness, but about choosing life and hope over the empty promises of unhealthy food. Fat addiction can be even more insidious and destructive in comparison to drug abuse. Just as narcotics quietly take hold of the body and mind, excessive consumption of fatty foods rewires our cravings and undermines our health. The consequences are severe. Obesity, heart disease, and metabolic disorders can develop silently, much like the hidden toll of substance dependence. Research shows that fatty foods can trigger reward pathways in the brain, making it difficult to break free from their grip. The risks are not just theoretical, they are real and life-threatening, with the potential to shorten lives and diminish quality of life. Treating fat addiction with the same seriousness as drug abuse is essential to protecting our health and future. Saar was shaken to his core by the doctor's warnings. The reality of his health risks, high cholesterol, elevated triglycerides, and dangerous glucose levels, became impossible to ignore. Fear gripped him as he realized that his love for fatty foods had brought him to the brink of a serious medical crisis. That night, Saar lay awake, haunted by the nightmarish, ghastly possibility of losing his future. Amidst his anxiety, a powerful determination began to grow. He repeated to himself, "I want to change, I want to live." This turning point marked the beginning of Saar's journey toward a healthier life, driven by both fear and hope. That night, Saar lay awake, haunted by the stark reality of his health and the choices that brought him there. The words of his doctor echoed in his mind, warning him that his body could not endure much longer if he continued down the same path. Overwhelmed by fear, yet fueled by a newfound determination, Saar made a promise to himself. He would no longer be a prisoner to fatty foods. As dawn broke, hope began to replace despair. Saar realized that change would not be easy, but his desire to live and reclaim his health was stronger than any craving. With resolve in his heart, he prepared to face a new day, ready to make choices that would lead him toward a better future. On a quiet morning, Saar faced a choice that would define his future. His mother spoiled him once again with granola and ice cream, as usual. Saar paused, reflecting on the warnings he had received about the dangers of fatty foods. Instead of following old habits, Saar made a deliberate decision. Before he told his mother to choose oats and honey, a simple, wholesome alternative. This moment marked the beginning of his journey toward better health, symbolizing his commitment to break free from the cycle of unhealthy eating. His mother, witnessing his change of dietary heart, was overcome with emotion, recognizing the significance of this change. Saar's choice was more than a dietary shift, it was a declaration of hope and determination to reclaim his life. Saar's mother is overcome with emotion as she witnesses her son's determination to change his eating habits. Tears of relief and pride well up in her eyes, knowing that Saar is finally taking steps to protect his health. She expresses how proud she is of his decision, acknowledging the courage it takes to break free from unhealthy patterns. For her, Saar's commitment is not just about food, it's a sign of hope and a new beginning. The moment is filled with gratitude, as she realizes that her son's choice could mean a significantly longer and truly healthier life. Saar's resolve brings a sense of joy and reassurance to his family, marking a turning point in their journey together. For years, the idea that moderate fat intake is healthy has been widely accepted, but recent evidence challenges this belief. Food industry marketing has played a significant role in shaping public perception, often downplaying the risks associated with fatty foods. Studies now reveal that even so-called moderate amounts of fat, especially from ultra-processed or saturated fat-rich sources, can contribute to obesity, heart disease, and other serious health issues. The narrative of healthy fats has been used to sell products, masking the true dangers lurking in everyday meals. Behind glossy advertisements and reassuring labels, the reality is that fat-rich diets are fueling a global health crisis. It is becoming increasingly clear that the supposed benefits of moderate fat consumption have been exaggerated, leaving consumers vulnerable to long-term harm. Resisting fatty foods can feel like an uphill battle, especially in societies where such foods are not only readily available but also deeply woven into cultural traditions and social gatherings. From family celebrations to outings with friends, high-fat meals often take center stage, making it difficult to say no without feeling left out or judged. The psychological pressure to conform can be intense, as declining a shared dish may be seen as rejecting hospitality or even tradition. Many people struggle with cravings and emotional eating, finding comfort in familiar flavors despite knowing the risks. Social media and advertising further amplify the allure, portraying fatty foods as symbols of enjoyment and togetherness. Navigating these pressures requires not just willpower, but also a supportive environment and a shift in collective attitudes toward healthier choices. Changing lifelong eating habits is never easy, especially when comfort foods have been a constant companion. Saar reflects on the struggle of breaking free from familiar routines and the powerful grip that fatty foods can have. He acknowledges the moments of doubt and temptation, but also recognizes the importance of having support from loved ones. Encouragement from family and friends becomes a crucial lifeline, helping him stay focused on his health goals. Saar realizes that true change requires both determination and a network of support, making each small victory along the way feel even more meaningful. Every day, millions of people consume foods that seem harmless, even comforting, without realizing the fat-related risks hidden within. The food industry often presents fatty products as normal, or even beneficial, shaping public perception through powerful marketing. But beneath the surface, these foods can quietly undermine our health, contributing to obesity, heart disease, cancer, and other serious conditions. It's crucial to look beyond the labels and question the stories we've been told about what we eat. By recognizing these hidden dangers, we empower ourselves to make choices that truly support our well-being. The truth about our food is often more complex than it appears, and understanding it is the first step toward a healthier future. Family and community play a crucial role in shaping our eating habits and supporting healthier choices. When loved ones come together to encourage nutritious meals and share knowledge, it becomes easier to break free from harmful dietary patterns. Community initiatives, such as group cooking classes or local support groups, can foster a sense of belonging and accountability. Families that prioritize whole, lean and healthy foods often inspire each member to make better decisions. By creating a supportive environment, both at home and in the community, individuals are more likely to sustain positive changes and resist the lure of unhealthy, high-fat foods. Ultimately, collective effort makes the journey toward better health more achievable and lasting. Saar's path to better health has been filled with both challenges and triumphs. Each day, he faces temptations and reminders of old habits, yet he finds strength in every healthy choice he makes. Small victories, like choosing oats over granola or reaching for an apple instead of fatty ice cream, become milestones in his journey. These moments of resilience gradually build his confidence and reinforce his commitment to change. Over time, Saar notices improvements in his energy and well-being, fueling his determination to continue. His story is a testament to the power of persistence and the impact of even the smallest positive decisions. Transformation is never just a physical journey, it's deeply emotional. As Saar began to see changes in his health and habits, a sense of pride emerged, replacing the shame and frustration that once weighed him down. Hope took root, growing stronger with each healthy choice and every small victory. This newfound optimism became a powerful force, not only fueling Saar's own determination but also inspiring those around him. The desire to help others facing similar struggles became a guiding light, reminding him that change is possible, even when it feels overwhelming. Through his experience, Saar discovered that the courage to transform can ripple outward, offering hope to countless others searching for a way forward. Saar's journey reveals the harsh reality behind the widespread consumption of high-fat foods. His personal struggle with obesity and alarming health markers mirrors the findings of recent scientific studies, which show that these foods can rapidly harm our bodies, even when calorie intake is controlled. Research links fatty foods to increased risks of heart disease, stroke, and metabolic disorders, debunking the myth that certain fats are harmless. Saar's transformation began when he recognized the dangers of these foods and chose to prioritize whole, minimally processed options. The evidence is clear: reducing fat and fatty food intake is not just a personal choice, but a crucial step for long-term health. This episode underscores the importance of questioning food industry narratives and making informed decisions to protect our well-being. As this series unfolds, we will delve deeper into the hidden truths about dietary fat and its impact on our health. Each episode will reveal new scientific findings, personal stories, and expert insights that challenge long-held beliefs about what we eat. The journey ahead promises to expose the dangers lurking in everyday foods and the consequences of ignoring them. Viewer will discover how modern diets, shaped by convenience and marketing, have contributed to a global health crisis. Along the way, we will explore practical strategies for breaking free from harmful habits and choosing foods that support lasting wellness. Prepare for eye-opening revelations and a path forward that prioritizes real, sustainable health over misleading promises. It's time to put fatty foods in the trash can.